Hey guys, how's it going? Today I just wanted to go over weapon swap, how to do it, why you should be doing it, and all that good stuff. Just kind of like a beginner's guide. Um, why should you be doing weapon swap? You're going to gain a ton of power or some kind of tech that your character normally doesn't have with one weapon swap, one weapon set versus having two weapon sets. So currently I'm playing Sorceress, right? So the way that you get into the weapon swap is you're going to look under your gems, right? And you have two weapons equipped. Currently I have a wand and a shield. And then in my secondary I have a staff, right? So the tech that I'm currently running for having a staff in my second hand is that this staff allocates level 18 Sigil of Power. So in your skills, in your gems, you can change this. This will only be bound to weapon slot 2, but all your other abilities, Spark, Flame Wall, Orb of Storms, you can choose whether to bind it to weapon slot... Oop, my face is in the way. Weapon slot 1, weapon slot 2, both of them, or neither of them, right? And so I want to be casting all my main abilities with my wand and shield because these are they're giving me higher DPS. Whereas the only things I want to be doing with my staff is casting Sigil of Power and my curses, right? So I'm also casting Conductivity with these supports, but I'm only casting it on weapon set 2. And the reason for that, also I have Blink, but I'll talk about that in a second. And the reason for that is that you can split your passive tree, skill points. I have 22 points that you can split. So if you think about it this way, my primary attack and ability is lightning damage. So I want to split those ascendancy points in favor of lightning damage and anything that's going to give me increased damage and effect on my lightning damage. Whereas if I'm casting Sigil of Power and curses for conductivity, I don't give a shit about lightning power, right? I want more curse effect stuff. So on my secondary ascendancy points, you do it up here on the right, you click 1. So weapon set 1 is red, right? So see how these are kind of tinted red? That's my weapon set 1, for example. And then my weapon set 2 down here is green. And these are for curses, right? I don't want any curse nodes on my primary DPS abilities, lightning damage. I only want to cast curses off my second weapon, right? So all my curse stuff is off my second weapon here. It's green. So this allows me to amplify, instead of just amplifying my lightning damage, it also allows me to amplify my curses, right? So make sure that you have 2 weapon sets and you're allocating 2 weapon sets in your passive tree. It's very important. I don't know exactly the other classes. I've specifically been playing Stormweaver, Sork, so I wouldn't be able to help out on other classes, but Stormweaver for the most part splits their curses with their ascendancy points. Or not ascendancy points, passive points, excuse me. Now getting into the tech, right? So another thing that you might have noticed is that on my staff, I have Blink allocated on my staff, right? So each weapon set has their own spirit pool. So instead of having Archmage, because I'm not casting lightning damage on my second weapon set, I allocated Blink, which allows you to like blink around the screen like this, right? With your evasion.
I need more time.
On a cooldown, right? The only thing that sucks about this is that it will not automatically swap weapon sets to Blink. If I cast Spark right now on my weapon set 1 while holding my staff, which is 2, it will swap to my wand, right? Yeah, so see, now I have my wand out. Now if I cast Sigil of Power on my staff, it'll swap to my staff. Same thing goes if I cast Conductivity. It'll swap to my staff. You can't see it here. So Spark, and then I'll cast Conductivity. You can't see it, but I casted it right here. it swaps the weapon set. So if I cast Flame Wall, weapon set 1. It doesn't do it with Blink. So the workaround for Blink is you can manually swap weapons with X as the default, and then you can Blink. Or what I do is, if I'm in the middle of it, I'll cast Conductivity just to swap weapons, and then I'll Blink. Right, so it kind of looks like this. Running around, spark, 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 spark. I need to blink over this square. I'll cast Conductivity, and then I'll blink over it. And you can do this with other tech too, like early in the game I had a lot of strength for some fucking reason. You can allocate some extra strength nodes, and you can equip Leap Slam as a caster, right? But you just have to make sure that the requirements are met. You need 52 strength, a two-handed mace or a one-handed mace in your secondary weapon, right? So then when you go to cast Leap Slam, you want it bound to your weapon set 2. So you'll Leap Slam on weapon set 2, and then when you go back to your normal attacks, you go back to your, weapon set 1. So like weapon set 2 is kind of like a utility, but it also can grant extra damage. Like Sigil of Power gives me a ton of extra damage. Hey guys, future me here. Currently, there is a bug that if you run Herald of Ice, Thunder, or Ash on your secondary Spirit Reservation on your second weapon, while using your primary weapon, it will apply these additive Ice, Thunder, Ice, Lightning, and Fire damage. The only thing is that these are level 15 Spirit Gems, and the base requirement is pretty high. You need 80 Dex and Int for Herald of Ice, 146 Dex for Thunder, and 146 for Strength. But if you meet one of these requirements, throw this on your secondary weapon. It's going to get patched out, but I figured just as like a PSA, it'd give you a little bit extra damage. So I hope this kind of gives you a little introduction into weapon swapping, like the increased damage, the increased tech that you get, the splitting of the passive tree. It's important. It's a little bit tedious, but if you want to start squeezing out damage, especially towards the middle to end game, you need to be you need to be doing this stuff. So take a look into it. It's really useful. Hope this helps you guys. Say bye, Bam. He's not too happy. He doesn't like it down here. I'm babysitting him for a sec. And have a good one. Don't do too much fucked up shit. If you do fucked up shit, do one fucked up shit thing at a time, so you don't get caught. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Fade to black.